Hello, everybody, and good evening from North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina. We are here with the Midwest Motorsports Stock Car Series, where we're going to be taking 200 laps around this speedway. Make sure that I'm muted here. Thank you all for tuning in to watch. Tonight we have a plethora of drivers, 11 here gridded up, and we're going to give you the grid information here. Do race info in a minute, but starting on pole today is Trevor McLaughlin, who's making his second series race. Nicholas Aslan making his series debut in second, in the number 48 Chevrolet. Then Dustin Reinsettle in third, the Napa Chevrolet. Jason Huffman in the 4-car in fourth. Michael Samia in fifth. Eric Thaler sixth. Seventh finds Clarence Prince. Ron Schaumer in eighth. Ninth, Ant Castor. 10th, Norm Snyder, and Chris Thaler rounds out our field in 11th place. Weather is not too bad here, 71 degrees with 47% humidity on the sim. North Wilkesboro Speedway. Speedway was founded back in 1947. And follow the field. Pace lights are off here. So we should be getting the 1-2 here on the field. This track is a 6/10 of a mile speedway. 0.625, so about 5/8 of a mile actually. Across the start-finish line here. Okay, I'm sorry, we got one more to go. We got 2 unsponsored cars to start the field out here. Some local yokels getting ready to battle it out for the win. 200 laps here. 50% fuel on these cars gives them about 77 laps around the track. 3 tires will be greeting them in pit lane. Trevor McLaughlin gets the green flag, and this race is underway. Nick Aslan getting a rocket shot there on the top line. We are under green flag racing here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. We with this field staying pretty close, 2 wide action there. Nick Aslan trying to run that high side, that high line early, see if he can get the momentum to clear Dustin. Trevor McLaughlin will get lap 1 under his belt. Fastest laps in qualifying and practice earlier today when he got that pole. 24.127, setting the fastest lap time here. Dustin Reinsettle and Nick Aslan still battling it out for second place with Michael Samia in third. One of the things to watch out for as this race progresses is these corners here. Guys have been losing it coming off of turn 2 and turn 4. So be mindful of that as the race claws on. Trevor McLaughlin getting about a half a second lead now over Dustin Reinsettle, who's finally cleared over Nick Aslan. Michael Samia is going to try to challenge there on the inside. Jason Huffman still has actually dropped to 4th place with Samia making the pass. Everybody's kind of found their way to single file racing here. Still side to side though, Michael Samia and Nicholas Aslan, as Michael Samia now takes 3rd place from Nick. Nick's continuing to use that high line there, wondering if there's any tire saving ideas in his head. We'll find out as the night runs along here. Making his series debut, no stranger to Midwest Motorsports Racing, Nick Aslan is a Truck Series champion, and I'm pretty sure he made a run, if not did get a Cup Series champion. Bit of a hiatus for him this year, so this is one of his, well, his first start here in this series. He's been involved in the Road Series as well. Trevor McLaughlin setting a fast time here of 19.555 as Clarence Prince draws on to the inside of Nick Aslan. One of Nick's favorite things to do at the beginning of the race as we continue along with him here is that he usually does fuel save, tire save early on in the run. So you'll see Nick Astlin drop like a rock at the beginning of races before slowly climbing back on in with all that savings he's done. Speaking of savings here, we've got Ant Castor back here in the 8th place. He is the only other driver to win a race this season in the Stock Car Series. Dustin Reinzel showing early season dominance in both series. And he won his way at Richmond on fuel saving strategy, no, Rockingham at fuel saving strategy. For some reason I'm getting those confused. Eric Thaler making the pass on by the number 8 Chevrolet. As the Budweiser car is trying to put his nose under there. See what he can do. Ron Schaumer having a decent start here, had some good practice laps in, and he's sitting there in the 9th place. Let's head on up back to the front. The gap has actually decreased for Trevor McLaughlin. He's now about 0.3 of a second behind Dustin. So he continues to lead this way. Lap 11 we're currently working on. 10 laps in the books here. The unsponsored number 99 Toyota Supra still continuing to put some fast times down. That last lap was a 19.824. Dustin Reinsettle putting down a 19.927. The only other one doing a 19.8 is Jason Huffman back there in 4th place. So he's taken that spot back. Eric Thaler and Ant Castor are currently side by side here further in the back. So getting on turn 1 and 2 here. Ant Castor on the far inside, Eric Thaler on the far outside. And that Midwest Motorsports Ford Mustang. Currently your closest battle on the track between this and looks like Nick Astlin's finally catching back up. He's starting to turn things around here with Clarence Prince. And he's going to make it side by side at the line there. 14 laps down. Many more to go, folks. Nick Astlin makes his way around Clarence Prince in that number 83 Toyota Supra. Sponsored by Monster Energy. And back in the field, Eric Thaler and Ant Castor continuing to go side by side, and we have our first caution of the race, folks. Rough going there as we'll go on that replay real quick. It looks like Eric got loose coming out of turn 4 like we talked about early. Here we go. Right around the restart zone, a little bit of loose right there. Sure, he's trying to cut right back there, and he does. He holds it, but too little too late. Still goes right into Ant Castor, who hits the wall. Continues that spin. Ron Schaumer involved as well. Not able to get out of the way in time. Norm Snyder right there. Maybe gets a little bit. Maybe gets a little bit of contact there. I don't know if he got the 4X, but yep, he got the 4X there for sure after watching that. Unfortunate. Even with a little tap like that, if there's a car involved in an accident, you get yourself a 4X. We're going to take ourselves back to live action as we've got several cars coming on in for pit stops, including the cars involved in the accident. Trevor McLaughlin still out there on the lead, so we'll tell you right now, top 4 drivers stayed out. Everybody else came in for pit, or for fuel. Nick Astlin, Michael Samia all both came in. Fuel only stops. We got Norm Snyder doing probably some repairs, maybe right fronts. Ron Schaumer putting tires on, it looks like, with 20 seconds. Ant Castor in there, probably getting some damage done, or damage fixed. Chris Thaler's in and out. Speaking of our first caution of the race here, I just want to let you all know that the Midwest Motorsports Series actually has a rule. It was in place last season for short track racing. Lights are off on the pace cars. We're going side by side. Trevor taking the outside lane. So in a short track scenario, anything under a mile, a mile speedway, if we have 10 cautions, that's it. The race is done. So that's the first one there. There's only 9 more that these guys can have in this race. But we're about ready to go green. Trevor McLaughlin's got this field ready to go. Restart zone, off we go. Green flag back in the air. Trevor McLaughlin gets a giant launch there. Clarence Prince moving far in. Into turn 1 and 2, trying to get side by side with Dustin. Can't do it. Dustin clears him. Both Trevor and Dustin all alone now. Everybody else battling side by side behind them. Jason Huffman trying to hold on to 4th place here as he's battling for 3rd. And we've got ourselves another caution, folks. Another caution. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on there. Happening a little bit further back in the field. Looks like Chris Thaler getting involved there with Norm Snyder. The old men of Midwest Motorsports. Getting all wrapped up in a little accident there. Coming out of turn 4, let's see what happens. And it kind of looks like Chris got a little bit squirrely there, but I'm not sure. Norm hits the wall, and Chris is right there. Let's look right here, right front suspension, see if we can figure this one out. Yeah, it just looks like a racing incident, but Chris was a little tight to Norm there. Norm hit the wall like we talked about in that Haviland Ford. And, well, Chris might have seen the Krispy Kreme on the side there. Said, you got some, Norm? And off they go for a spin. 2 cars involved in this one here. Several cars in the pit lane again. The top 6 cars staying on the track, while the rest go on into pit, including Eric Thaler, Ron Schaumer, Norm Snyder, Ant Castor, and Chris Thaler. Let's go back to live action racing here. Lights still out on the pace car. So North Wilkesboro Speedway is actually located in North Wilkesboro, believe it or not, on Speedway Lane. Just about an hour and a half north of Charlotte, North Carolina. So not too far from the Virginia and Tennessee borders. It was originally founded back in 1947, owned by the Enoch Staley and the Maston brothers. Owned it for 6 years before it went to the Staley and Coombs family. Burton Smith and Bob Bear bought the track up in 1995 and owned it until 2007 when it was transferred to Speedway Motorsports after Bob Bear decided to back out of there and New Hampshire International Speedway. Pace car is in. Trevor McLaughlin going on the high side again to start this one. Clarence Prince on the inside line here. Michael Samia right up against Trevor McLaughlin. Not sure what's going on there, but green flag underway. Hopefully not a black flag for that number 99 like we saw in the Truck Series on Friday night. Not as big of a jump here for Trevor. Michael all over his rear end, but Samia's itching for that lead. He's on the high side, getting 2nd place from Dustin, and he's making a push now. Michael Samia's got his nose right there. Does not get the lap led, I do not believe. We'll go ahead and pop the little timing chart out here for you once I figure out where the button is. But while we do that, we're going to go ahead and show you now Trevor McLaughlin falling back now to 3rd place after leading 28 laps. Michael Samia's out front. Nick Aslin's going to start going around him on the outside. He's gone down to 4th. trouble brewing here for the number 99 Toyota Supra as he's starting to fall back in the field. Not sure what happened, if he's got a black flag. Nah, I don't know if he's got a black flag to serve, but something not right with that car. Maybe he just wants to give a little here after getting pushed around. Not sure. Nick Aslan's found himself in the third place, though. Michael Smia running with the lead now, about 0.3 of a second over Dustin Reinsettel. Reinsettel currently putting down one of the faster lap times on the track presently. Nicholas Aslan actually putting down the fastest lap last time around, 19.968 to the 19.922. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't read. Well, it don't matter anyway. We got the leader putting 19.918 to Dustin's 19.915. So those two still the fastest cars on the track right this second. Everybody about a second away from each other except for Chris Thaler. He's 1.6 seconds behind Ant Castor now. Trevor McLaughlin hanging in there in fourth place now, about 0.8 of a second between him and Jason Huffman. Single file action. Dustin trying to get his nose underneath. And just so you're aware, Michael Smia pit during the first caution cycle, lap 17, along with Nicholas Aslan. So they actually have 17 more laps of fuel on their cars than the rest of the field. So we've just gone through 2 cautions. Nobody's actually taken any, well, none of the leaders have taken any tires so far, so there's not like a tire advantages. Dustin Reinsettel putting his nose under. We're looking for the third lead change of the race. As Reinsettel tries, will not get him at the line though, but he's got the momentum. Nick, oh, and he taps the wall. You don't want to do that here. Nick Aslan now fighting with Dustin for second place. On his outside as they go into turns 3 and 4. Trevor Mack making it a 4-way battle now for first place. Michael Smia get his 9th lap in. They are battling side by side in second here as Nick Aslan makes the pass over Dustin. Hasn't cleared him yet as we go into turns 3 and 4. Could make it clear here. Jason Huffman trying to hold on, keep up with this pack. So Nick did technically clear, but Dustin's back on his inside here. Michael Smia has led 10 laps now as Nick Aslan's got his quarter panel on the right rear of Michael Smia 79. Trevor Mack on the outside of Dustin taps the wall coming out of 4. Nick Aslan has it. He's got the lead now going through turns 1 and 2. No lap. Oh, he actually got the last lap there. So we have 4 lead changes. Oh, only 2 lead changes actually registered. Another caution early on in this one here. Nicholas Aslan has the lead. Clarence Prince. Looks like he might have been involved in that one. Let's go ahead and back on up, see what happened. That brought our caution out. Ooh, some bad damage there in the number 83 Toyota. Not sure exactly what happened there. We'll go ahead and go live for just this particular part. That 83 Toyota Supra. Going through turns 3 and 4. He loses it on turn 4, smashes the inside wall, and has to tow in front of a couple of the other guys in the field there, including Eric Thaler. So the number 83 in the pits to use that fast repair. And as we've been talking here about pit strategy, there's a lot of pit strategy going on right now. It's been going on so far for most of this race. Dustin Reinsettel coming on in. I was just about to say only 2 cars have not pit at all in this race, and Dustin comes on in, leaving Jason high and dry. Jason Huffman will go ahead and take the lead here, and that will actually be our... Okay, that's not entirely accurate there. I'm pretty sure we've had 5 lead changes now. 5 lead changes. We're under our 3rd caution of the race so far. 42 laps completed in this race. We've still got about 158 laps to go before this one's all done. So I'm going to clean up the act here. It is going to get tricky though, as most of the cars on the field had not taken any tires until this pit stop. Nick Aslan will be on the inside on the restart here. Jason Huffman takes the outside. Jason Huffman has not come into the pits. He's at a pretty big disadvantage. You get about 77 laps. I'm sure he's predicting there's going to be another caution here coming pretty soon, but 41 laps for pretty much everyone else on the field, 42 laps in the case of Dustin Reinsettle. Everyone side by side. Our top 4 right now: Huffman, Aslan, Thaler, or Samia and Thaler. Schamer in 5th. Green flag underway for the green and yellow machine, the John Deere Ford Mustang number 4. He's leading the field. Fellow Ford in 4th place behind him. Already single file there between the first 2. And we got Eric Thaler side by side with Dustin, falling back a little bit. Samia now side by side with Nick Aslan again, just behind Jason Huffman. Huffman's going to get some laps led. 4th caution of the night just coming out there right after green flag. And we'll figure out what happened there, but it was towards the back of the field. And this one's involving Norm Snyder and Chris Thaler. They are not getting along today. Someone separate the old folks home. We need a nurse. We need a nurse. So Norm Snyder bangs on the wall here. Chris again tight to him. Not letting him have anything here. Sorry, we're going to go back here. Let's get a better angle on this. I'm on Chris. So this is the right front. So Norm Snyder taps on the wall here on the front stretch, comes on down. And I think the both of them just came together once again. Chris, you gotta lay off the Krispy Kreme donuts. Norm goes around, does a couple of spins out front there. Fast repair for the number 28. Got some pit time there. We're gonna go live here. Back to live action. There's Chris Thaler in the pits. Michael Samia up in front once again. Dustin Reinsettle behind him. Eric Thaler will line up in 3rd place. Everybody else coming in for fuel, and a lot of people coming in for tire stops as well. So at this point, Jason Huffman has pit. It's a good call for him to anticipate there being another caution, so he won't lose any laps because of that choice. But currently, Chris Thaler, Norm Snyder, and Clarence Prince are a lap down. The lights on the pace car getting ready to go out here. There they are. Michael Samia will take the top lane. Dustin Reinsettle will be 2nd. A lot of action here so far to call. It's been a much different racing experience here, calling for the Stock Car Series this week than any other. North Wilkesboro is definitely a different racetrack than many. And here we go back. Oh, I don't know why I'm still on replay instead of live, but sorry about that, folks. Green flag underway. Michael Smia with the big jump. I do apologize for that. I could have swore we were on there on the official live feed. But at any rate, Dustin Reinstedel and Nick Gaslin are battling it out, duking it out for second place. Don't let the all-black car fool you. He has been in this series before, driving that number 48, usually driving a Lowe's or Cobalt scheme. Honor Jimmy Johnson. Side by side with Dustin here all around the racetrack. Trevor McLaughlin currently battling with Eric Thaler as he takes 5th place away. Ron Schaumer trying to do the same with Ant Castor, at least keeping up with him. Michael Samia has done it though. He's taken the purple lap away from Trevor McLaughlin, putting down a 19.487. Nick Gaslin put down his best of a 19.5. And Jason Huffman puts down a 19.498. Gets fast laps here. Once again. Still a pretty close battle here. McLaughlin not able to get too far away, but Trevor is 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds now behind Jason Huffman. Not sure if any damage or something is impacting him or if he's just trying to do some fuel-saving strategies. No, what's the wise play right now here? We're not quite halfway through the race. We're just barely, actually barely a quarter of a way through the race. Excuse me, folks. With 56 laps down. And we've already burned up 4 cautions today. Alrighty, so we'll give you a quick peek at that again. 4 cautions. We've had 6 lead changes now. I know it says 3 right there, but it's not quite accurate. We've had several of the guys pass the start-finish line, get laps led at different times of this race. Michael Smia up to a whole second lead over Nicholas Aslan, who's still battling with Dustin Reinstedel and Jason Huffman back there. Currently our closest action on the track is this battle for 2nd and 3rd place. And because they provide a lot of action so far, at the back of the field, Norm Snyder and Chris Thaler are the next closest battle on the field. 0.3 of a second for these 2 Ford drivers. Chris driving a Haas Ford scheme. They've been messing with each other all race long here. Can they have a clean lap? Norm going to the outside for some reason. Hasn't really worked out too well for him so far. We do have to change our camera angle though. Take us off of that battle for this battle right up front. As Samia and Aslan are battling it out now. Nicholas Aslan on the inside. Won't get the lap, but Michael Samia and him are locked in. Side by side. Turn 1 and 2. Nick getting a big run there, but Samia's got that outside speed. It's going to be hard to pass on the inside, but Nick's been able to do it. He's got his nose ahead. Is it enough? No, I don't think so. Michael Samia will continue to lead that lap, but his lead just shrunk. The train on the inside starting to grow. Nick Aslan's still trying. Seeing if he can get a good run here out of 3 and 4. He's got his nose ahead. Samia will still lead that lap. And he'll ride the wall a little bit. That's going to give Nick Aslan the lead here on the back stretch, side by side still. Nick Aslan already able to get a good start here through 3 and 4. Michael Samia, he's closed it off. Nick Aslan will take the lead. And now Samia with the crossover into turn 1 and 2. Aslan hits the wall. Mike Samia slides up the track. Dustin's not there to capitalize though. Nick Aslan will continue to hold the lead, go way on the inside to block off Samia. Samia trying to use the whole track instead of being forced to the high side there. Not able to make it work. Nick on the high side again here through 1 and 2. Samia able to try to make a little bit of ground, a little bit of wiggle there. But Aslan will hold the lead. He'll get another lap led here. 66 laps have been put in the books. Nick Aslan 7 laps led. I think is the 7th lead change here. Dustin Reinstedel asking to be part of this conversation. He's only led 1 lap today, which is a little bit new for Dustin Reinstedel this season. He'll tap the wall out of there in turn 4 on the front stretch, but he will get around Michael Samia. He's made it way past Samia already. It only took 1 turn to make that move, and he's going to make it stick here as they go into turns 3 and 4. Jason Huffman trying to make some noise here as well, as Nicholas Aslan has now caught on to lap traffic. So he's caught up to Norm Snyder and Chris Thaler here. Chris Hopper's about to be real excited because we have completed 69 laps in this race. Dustin Reinstedel waiting in the wings there as they both get around the lap traffic. But he's about half a second ahead of the number 11 machine. That gap between Trevor McLaughlin and this front group has grown exponentially. He's now 6.6 seconds behind. Looking good for his chances here. We'll have to see if he can get anything going later on in the race. Still anybody's ball game right now. 70 laps in the books. Definitely not going to pick any favorites to win just yet. Right along here on the cameras with Nicholas Aslan. So he's caught up to Clarence Prince in that Toyota Supra. I'm going to go ahead and take you through the field here, starting with Nicholas Aslan and his unmarked Chevy Silverado. This ain't the trucks. And his Chevy Camaro. This is the Xfinity chassis. So all the cars here is going to be the Xfinity cars. Next up, we have another Chevrolet driver here, former Toyota driver, in Dustin Reinstedel, driving the Napa Toyota machine. Dominating this season in both the trucks and the stock car series. Only 1 win so far. Stock car series has not been Dustin Reinstedel, as we are currently in our 5th race of the season. 3 of 4 taken down by this man. Behind him, we have a battle going on for 3rd place between Jason Huffman and Michael Samia. So we'll start with Samia first here, as you know, been leading a good amount of laps after that second caution. Forced his way up front in that number 79 S&S Chevrolet. And doing his own thing here. He was part of Trevor McLaughlin's team for a little while. Currently sporting S&S Motorsports. Great support for his brother. Still thinking about you, man. Yeah. And right behind him here in the John Deere Ford Mustang is Jason Huffman, who led a couple of laps here right after the caution. The 3rd caution of the night. So now working on lap 80. Jason got the inside of Michael Samia here. Not able to make anything capitalize out of that set of turns. Michael gets a good run on the backstretch. And that's our 4th place driver. Trevor McLaughlin, our second and only other unsponsored car out here on the field, driving the number 99 Toyota Supra. He's a broadcaster for the Friday Night Truck Series. Used to be sponsored by Ghost several seasons ago, and then Hot Wheels for a little bit. Just getting himself back on track with us here, and hope to see him more on Sunday nights. Early on was the big front runner here. He finds himself side by side with Chris Thaler, who is a lapped car. Speaking of Thalers, here comes Eric Thaler, the godfather of Midwest Motorsports, in his Midwest Motorsports Ford Mustang, trying to keep it from spinning there after bouncing off the wall on the front stretch. Ant Castor, the only other winner this season in the Stock Car Series, driving the Budweiser Chevrolet. Pulling out an old Dale Jr. type scheme. Hits the wall going into turn 3 and 4. You definitely don't want to do that here. Everybody just trying to figure their long run lines. The tires are starting to wear down here. All the cautions were going on. Now we've been 40 laps so far. These guys have been doing well to keep the yellow flag out of the flagman's hand, but a long run is something that I don't think everyone was planning for, as Ant finds the wall again. Hopefully somebody's got a faster pair at the end of this race. Ron Schaumer in 8th place now. Had a pretty fast car during practice. We'll see if that can translate to a good run later on in this race. And just looking at that scheme, I couldn't... Oh, he's got a Thanksgiving scheme going on. Just not sure what particular cartoon or... scheme he's going for here. Yeah, I can't make that out. I'm a bit blind. Turkey Day Wobble. Back here in 9th place, we'll find ourselves with Norm Schneider, who's involved in some early incidents with Chris Thaler, driving the old Davey Allison-inspired number 28 machine. In 10th place, you'll find Clarence Prince in that Monster Energy's Toyota Supra. Been driving Red Bull for a long time. He's now swapped himself over to Monster. Looking to make some improvements this season. So he's had some fast starts to the race. Just needs to find a way to put it all together. And the back of their field in 11th place is Chris Thaler, and that Haas Manufacturing's number 7, co-sponsored by Monster Energy. And that, folks, is our field today. Nick Aslin's still out there in front. Dustin Reinsettle behind him. The gap has increased to 2.6 seconds as he goes ahead and laps Ron Schaumer. So 7 cars still on the lead lap as he's chasing down Ant Castor to make it 6. Trevor McLaughlin, 8.3 seconds separating him from Michael Samia. Samia still holding the fastest lap of the race. Michael Samia is catching back up to Jason Huffman again. So these two battled it out earlier. on in the race, and now they're getting closed back in. Well, I said that Michael Samia is starting to back off here, so our closest battle on the track happens to be between Eric Thaler and Trevor McLaughlin. As Trevor caught up to Clarence Prince. Looks like Norm Snyder just got himself in the pits. We're closing in on the pit cycle here, so I was told about 77 laps. Most of the field pit on lap 40, 41. During that last caution to get some fuel and tires. These cars can go another 77 laps, so we're about 20 or so laps away from everyone desperately needing the pits. Well, I'll take the time now to talk about our racing league here at Midwest-Motorsports.com. If you'd like to sign up and join us here in this league for all the exciting ventures going on here and contest Dustin Reinsettle and put him in his place, show him that, hey, you're the boss, not him, you can always join in. Or if you think you can hang with this crowd, you're always welcome to. The sign-ups are always free, always open in our racing league. Just go to Midwest-Motorsports.com to sign-ups there. We'll have links, handy links to our Discord page, to our iRacing page to sign up for the league, some questionnaires for us to get to know you better, especially us in the broadcast booth. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. These guys are great to run around with, and for the most part, we're relatively clean. Daytona and this race are so far the only outliers this season as far as clean racing has gone. So back to our schedule here. Now here on Sunday nights we race the Stock Car Series. Currently we're at North Wilkesboro for another 100 laps or so as Nicholas Aslan passes for the 101st time. All of our series will be off this following week in honor and reverence of Thanksgiving. So you won't see really any Midwest Motorsports for another week. But when we come back live, we will be having the Truck Series the Friday after, not Black Friday, but the Friday afterwards, which will be the 5th of December. Then you'll find us back here on the 7th. So we have 3 different series that races throughout the calendar year. You're currently watching one of our oval series, but on Monday nights after this, we do sometimes have the Cool Down Lap podcast hosted by Antcaster that will return or resume at some point in time to be determined. Hopefully I'll know so I can let everyone else know the day after or the day before so you can all tune in and watch, which will be great. Nick Aslan getting ready to put Eric Thaler here a lap down. We continue to try to watch on. Eric did make it around Trevor McLaughlin, who's now fallen down to 6th place on the field. Still our closest battle on the track. Tuesday nights is our road series, which usually starts around 7:30 when the green flag actually waves on that series. We are currently on our off season, getting ready to plan and prepare for season number 11. More details to come as the weeks progress, as the admin team put out the polls and the drivers vote on those and figure out what tracks that we want to go to and what cars we want to race. We just had a fun run last week, which featured the GT3 Mustangs and some LMP2 cars. Or the LMP2 machine at, oh, I don't remember which track it was. That's bad, I voted for it. At any rate, regardless of all that here, Trevor McLaughlin closing on in here on Eric Thaler, something going on there. But let's talk about Friday night as we continue to watch the action unfold right ahead. So, following this hiatus here, for the holiday. The trucks will be back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for 113 laps. That is put on by the ever awesome and super amazing James J, along with current leader in the booth, Trevor McLaughlin, who's done an amazing job filling in. And I look forward to James and Trevor's banter on Friday night while I try not to die. So that's the series I race in, the number 40 Toyota Tundra. And the Stock Car Series, following that up on Sunday night, Eric Thaler's starting to pull away here. Trevor McLaughlin going on into the pits. We got Kansas Speedway for these guys. It'll be 134 laps. So just going back to Friday night, because I forgot to tell you the time for once. At 9:55, you'll be able to catch that broadcast when the green flag goes. If you're there about 10 o'clock, you are all set. At all times Eastern Standard, by the way, if the little thing did not pop up on the bottom of the screen. That is for the powers above to dictate, not me. We are now within the wells of the pit cycle here, as Nicholas Aslan continues and finishes out lap 113. We're now at lap 114 here, and Nick Aslan actually came into pit during that last caution on lap 47. So we've had 73, almost 70, or I'm sorry, 76 now, 77 laps of clean racing. I had to make sure my math was right. So we're going to be expecting that 48 machine to be coming in a little bit. I'm guessing that these guys are clutching right now to see if they can push even further. The magic number would have been lap 124. If you could have made it to lap 124, you are set for the rest of the race. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to pull it off. Nick might be able to, but nobody else has really pit. We've had a couple guys come on down. Right now we have Clarence Prince in the pit lane. We've had 1, 2, 3, 5 of the 11 drivers come on down to pit. 2 guys have been out there since lap 41, Michael Smee and Eric Thaler. 4 drivers are left on the lead lap here as we're getting close to the end of lap 117. I think everybody signed up for the Antcaster, the Ty Williams fuel saving school. Oh, well, as soon as I said that, Dustin Reinsettle finds his way into the pit lane on lap 117 for him. Lap 118 in his books by the time he gets to his pit box, where he can actually start pitting. He's going to go a lap down, and probably another one, too. Another car is in the pit lane. That's Jason Huffman, who's coming on in. This will be fuel and tires, and here comes Nick Aslan down the pit road at lap 120. We'll see if anybody can actually make any further. Michael Smee, maybe. He's still out there on the track right now. So he's going to try and make another lap, hit 121. Nick Aslan, like I said, he pit at lap 47 and got fuel. He had 6 more laps than Michael Samia, and Samia's still out there. He'll get another lap led here, as this will put Dustin Reinstedt a lap down. For sure, Jason Huffman's still in the pits. We only have 3 cars on the lead lap, about to be 2. Eric Thaler's still out there. These 2 guys have been out on those tracks since lap 41. No pits for these 2. They're going to try to make the distance here. Excuse me, can they do it? Like I said, that magic number is 122 or 124. If you can make it there, you don't have to worry about fuel for the rest of the run. Just have to pray your tires will still be good. 122 laps in the books. That's right, Kyle. Short track racing. Thank you for joining us, folks. Ron Chalmers still going to keep ahead here. Michael Smee continues to stay out. Eric Thaler coming on in with only 122 laps under his belt. He might be able to sneak it out here. Nick Aslan still somehow on the lead lap. Despite pinning on lap 120, he may actually have it though, with the way the fuel mileage is working right now. Michael Smee, 124 laps on his lap counter. Dustin Reinstedt will get his lap back here. Smee is in. Eric Thaler's still in the pits, just coming on out here. So Nick Aslan getting ready to take the lead back here as we start seeing cars unlap themselves. As that number 79 car is in, he's just getting over the start-finish line. 125 laps complete, 75 to go. And folks, if the 77 lap counter is to be believed, Michael Smee does not need to stop again, and nor does Eric Thaler. But a lot of these other guys are risking it right now. Now, Michael Smee is back out on the track right now. He is currently being shown in 6th place, a whole lap down from Nick Aslan. So he's going to have to hope that Nick Aslan will pit. By the way, Nick just set his fastest lap of the session, 9.3 second lead over Dustin Reinstedt. I haven't seen Dustin Reinstedt be this far behind since Ty Williams raced in this league. Trevor McLaughlin putting some challenge there on Jason Huffman. Let's head back there real quick to catch this bit of action happening right in front of our leader. 0.4 of a second separate these two. It's the closest battle, and it's now down to less than 0.3 of a second. Well, that exit helped out Jason Huffman, and not so much Trevor McLaughlin. Oh, and Chris Thaler's in the way for Jason. That's going to let Trevor catch back up. Jason's going to hit that high side. We got a rolling roadblock here between these two. And the leader's sniffing their tail. He's going to put these guys a lap down here pretty soon if they're not careful. Trevor's going to stay on the high side here, and here comes Nick Aslan. Don't know if he touched the wall there or not, but he's rocketing to try to catch back up. Now Trevor McLaughlin hoping he can catch back up. Taps the wall out of turn 4. But yes, if you come back here on Sunday nights, you find myself as one of the broadcasters here, James J. 7-time. It's a 7-time studio here that we're in. Norm Snyder is pretty slow there on the low line, but everybody able to go around. He goes down to the apron, trying to keep the car out of trouble here. So he's going to head and bring this thing into the pits. Jason Huffman caught up to Ant Castor now. So they're looking for a battle for 3rd place. James J is scheduled, hopefully, to be back in the booth here pretty soon, from what I hear. His recovery seems to be doing well. We miss you up here in the booth, and hopefully we'll have him back as soon as Friday night, December 5th. I don't know if he's in the chat to tell me no, not yet. I need another week. You guys are doing a great job. You don't need all the other things that you could say. But we miss you up here, James. We're glad that you're starting to do better here, and just look forward to you back in the booth, hanging out with us and calling this action. Adam Sondag usually commentates on the Tuesday Night Road Series, so once we get back to the action there, you'll be able to see Adam Sondag and James J. talking it out over a 40-plus car field. We'll have some more information as time goes on. The admins are able to hold their polls, and drivers are able to decide. That's one of the cool things about the league. Now, you can join at any time. It's not a big deal. We are more than happy to have just about anybody come on in here as long as you're clean. And the league admins really try their hardest to give the drivers choice in a lot of different aspects, mostly the tracks for the Oval Series. And in the Road Series, they're kind of giving us that ability to pick and choose as far as cars and tracks. We're in a transition year, or transition season, as we're just leaving the Radical and M2 season, which is not a fan favorite. A lot of stuff going on with that. A lot of talk about GT3 making a comeback or some kind of combination, but we'll see. I won't speculate too much in on that. Once we have some more details, we'll let you know, especially with the start time. Nick Aslin has one other car on the lead lap to chase after right now, and it's your season leader, Dustin Reinstedel. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. He's not actually surprisingly enough, even though he's won 3 races this season, he is not actually the points leader. Your points leader coming into this race is not actually on the field right now. Aaron Holroyd at number 9 Chevrolet out this week. He's had good string of top 5s this season. Leads the series at 162 points. Jason Huffman's actually in 2nd place here, 156 points, so 6 points back. Norm Snyder is currently sitting in 3rd in the Stock Car Series standings at 155 points. It's crazy. He's led 1 lap so far this season. And then you get the 2 guys who have led the most laps so far in this league coming into tonight. Dustin Reinstedel in 4th with 134 points, 3 wins, 3 top 10s, or 5s and top 10s. He missed a race. Leading 327 laps. Michael Samia is in 5th place in the points, 122 points, 12 behind Dustin, and he's led 116 laps coming in. 1 top 5. 3 top 10s for him. James Olivison is in 6th. He's not here tonight either. Then you have Ron Schamer in 7th with 112 points. Trevor Mack, 41 points for his 1 start so far this season. Top 5 finish, as he finished 3rd last week. Oh, we have ourselves a caution, as it looks like Chris Thaler. Is that Chris Thaler? Well, let's see who it was that spun out there in turns 1 and 2. Nope, it was not Chris Thaler, so that must mean it was Ancaster. It was a black and red car. That much I do remember. Yep, Ancaster going slideways out of turn 4. And flies up the track. Nobody else involved, but because it's right in the middle of the track, our race control goes ahead and throws the yellow flag. 5 cautions today, folks. 5 cautions today. Show the race recap here. We've had probably about 8 lead changes so far. 5 cautions, 18 laps. We have now found ourselves up to 150 laps. We're working our way through lap 151 as we speak. Dustin Reinstedel currently shown as your leader here with Jason Huffman and Nick Aslan up in the top 3. Dustin will get that lap led. Jason Huffman staying on out. Everybody else coming on into pit. Nicholas Aslan, who was your race leader, just pit. Come in for final time. Everybody getting tires, fuel. We're going to have less than 50 laps to go when the green flag flies. Nick Aslan's led for 86 laps today. Now at 87, so he's kind of led the most laps so far today. I'm actually finding out that you do not get a bonus for the most laps led. Michael Samia with 31 laps led today. Trevor McLaughlin has found himself back up towards the top 5, 28 laps led. We're getting ready to go green flag racing. Barney's on in pit window, or the pit lane. Green flag underway. Nick Aslan decided the inside lane. He gets a rocket shot. Michael Samia follows behind him here with Dustin on the outside. They're about single file already after coming out of turn 2. Down into turn 3 goes this rocket machine, this unsponsored black car. Past the start-finish line here, Samia's charging hard. He's looking for something, some way to get around, hoping to get some kind of good lap here. Jason Huffman's in the pits. Clarence Prince, Michael Samia's turned around. 6th caution of the race. Short track racing indeed. No, I'm not going to talk about professional amateurs. Thank you very much. It looks like he started getting loose coming on into turn 1, I believe. No, that's turn 3, I believe. Yep, turn 3. And he's completely slideways by turn 4. Dustin will go by. Trevor goes by. Everybody's doing well to keep it clean here. Ron Schaumer will make it by. Eric Thaler goes by. Another car right in the middle of the track, so race control, throw in the yellow. It's the only safe option here. Find ourselves back live. Jason Huffman having over a minute of repairs to do during his laps pit cycle. No fast repairs for some of these guys left. Dustin Reinstedel and Jason Huffman have actually visited the pits the least amount of times this race. Clarence technically has as well, as all 3 of them have only come in 3 times. This race leader Nick Aslan's come in 5 times, 4 times for our 3rd place driver and Trevor McLaughlin. Currently 3 cars shown on the lead lap here. Eric Thaler, first car a lap down. He'll be starting in 4th place. My timing system's looking a little bit strange. Not sure what's going on and why Trevor's so far behind these 2 cars. Whatever the reason it is. Aslan on the high side here. And we got green flag flying for the seventh time here. Nick Aslin, 94 laps led, off he goes. Dustin Reinstedel, no pressure behind him as far as position goes, but he's going to try and keep up with Nick Aslin, who's starting to head on out, set and sail, as they say. Trevor Mack trying to close that gap in here, but he's 3 seconds back. I don't think he was directly involved, so I'm not sure why he had to go behind several lapped cars for that restart. Michael Sabia 3 wide coming out of turn 4 there with Chris Thaler and Ron Schaumer. He definitely wants to get himself in a better spot here. He's a lap behind Eric Thaler. Ron Schaumer hits the wall there out of turn 4. And they're getting close to that wall. 162 laps in the books here. That caution timer is, it's getting smaller. They've had 6 cautions, only 4 more. They hit that 10th caution, that's it. Nick Aslin sets the fastest lap time here, gets the purple lap. With that last one, 19.448. Dustin Reinstedel now a whole 2 seconds back, another 2, almost 3 seconds behind Dustin. You'll find Trevor McLaughlin, and then everybody else is a lap back. Ant Castor and Ron Schaumer are actually the closest battle on the track right now for position. Here it is. So they're getting ready to go side by side into turn 3 and 4 behind Trevor McLaughlin. Chris Thaler and Norm Snyder still battling for position back there for P9. 5 laps down behind Jason Huffman. Ant Castor getting clear past Ron Schaumer. And this was battle for 6th place. Ant Castor another 2.5 seconds behind Michael Samia for 5th place. Back to this tremendous gap here. Chris Thaler's putting it on into the pit lane. He is in the pits. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe a black flag. No, he's pitting. Get some damage done, or damage repaired. 3 cars on the lead lap here as we're closing towards the end of the race. 168 laps in the books. Got 32 to go. Still anyone's race. As James likes to say, we're not going to bring the hats to victory lane just yet. Although if you've got a black cap out there, you might have good odds. The way that Nick's been doing here in the mid part of this race. Excuse me. Broadcaster has to drink some liquid too. Liquid refreshment. That is nice, clean, sweet tea from Circle. I'm not sponsored by them, so I also want to sleep tonight, so I'm not drinking any Ghost. But I have some in my fridge. 29 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Famous oval owned by Speedway Motorsports. Front stretch graded downhill while the back stretch is graded uphill. Is attributed to Enoch Stanley running out of funds when constructing the facility. It was mostly a dirt surface before 1957 when it was paved. And the first asphalt race was held in mid-September. Kyle Larson currently holds the actual fastest lap record at this racetrack with a 18:362. So these guys still kind of off that pace back in 2024. Although this coming season in 2026 will be the first year that NASCAR, after a long hiatus, is doing a points-paying race here at North Wilkesboro. Chris Thaler into the wall. Nick Aslin far down on the inside of the track. And Chris Thaler coming on into the pits. Not sure if it's to serve black flag or if it's for any damage repair or just to stay out of the leader's way. Dustin Ryansettle has fallen to a pretty, well, not that much of a bigger gap. He's at 2.27 seconds. Not close to being a bull named Blue Manchu. Hey, he's getting there though. Trevor McLaughlin now 4 seconds behind Dustin. Antcaster still battling with Michael Samia. That's our closest action on the track. We'll switch it up there. Follow along with the Chevrolets with 23 to go now. Or 22 to go now. 1995, the ownership of the racetrack actually changed to Bruton Smith and Bob Bear. They both had a half interest in the racetrack before Bear would later sell it. The last time the Cup Series actually did a points-paying race at North Wilkesboro was back in 1996. It was the 1996 Tyson Holly Farms 400. So the last winner of the race was Jeff Gordon. So Jeff Gordon, the last person to win a race here that gave points to its winner. Ted Musgrave had the pole position for that race, while Jeff went on to dominate, leading 207 of the 400 laps. Back then, Rick Mass drove the #1 Hooters car. That was a thing. Sterling Marlin was in the Kodak Films #4 for Larry McClure. Mark Martin was definitely in his Valvoline years, and Jeff Bodine was driving for his own team, driving for QVC, that black and kind of goldish, bronzish color trim. Hud Strickland had Circuit City on his hood. Lake Speed was driving Spam for Melling Racing. Ricky Rudd was in the Tide Machine. Brett Bodine drove the #11 Lowe's car. Derek Cope was not driving the #90. He was driving the #12 for Bobby Allison. Darrell Waltrip driving his own Parts America Chevrolet, #17. His brother Michael was with the Wood Brothers driving for Citgo. Jimmy Spencer was in the Carter Camel Cigarette Ford Taurus. Ken Schrader was driving for Budweiser for Rick Hendrick. Ernie Irvin drove the Texaco Haviland Ford. Jeff Green driving Carton Network in the 29. There's some old things right there. And Coors Light on Kyle Petty. It was still Felix Sabates racing. Bobby Hamilton had a start in the #43 STP Petty Enterprise Pontiac. As Antcaster finally making his move here on Michael Samia. He'll go around 13 laps to go. Dale Jarrett was driving the '88 Quality Care Ford Credit. Joe Nemechek drove for Burger King at the time. Kenny Wallace had his iconic Square D Chevrolet, #81 at the time. Actually, that was a Ford. My bad. I'm looking at this list and I got that wrong. Yeah, fun. Ricky Craven from Maine. He was driving the 41 Kodiak Chevrolet for Larry Hedrick. And Jeff Burton in X-Side. John Andretti drove the RCA for Cale Yarborough, that number 98 machine. It was a red car. And from Dawsonville, Georgia, it was Austin Bill driving Bill Elliott Racing. So that was 1996 at the Speedway. 10 laps to go. Nick Aslan leading this field. Just a dominant performance from him. We'll show you again. This is how many laps he's led so far. 9 to go, 126 laps. We've had mostly caution-free on the back end of this race. Had 5 cautions right before we hit the quarter mark, even. And then we've just had one other caution since then, around lap 150. Didn't really ruin Nick's plans here. He was gonna probably be running short, but not so anymore. 7 to go. I don't know if Dustin's gonna be able to close it, but he's at 2.7. And fading. Hey, it's only 0.02 of a second slower from his last lap time. Michael Samia still the closest battle now, as everyone's just kind of finally spread out on this racing surface. 5 to go. This time by Port Charlotte, Florida native, Nicholas Aslan. His father races primarily in the truck series, John Aslan. He did race one other race this season, so Team Aslan has, this is their second race of the season, and they've got this number 48 Chevrolet out-dueling Dustin Reinsettle. They got that car pretty well set up for this driver here. 3 to go. .4 seconds. Oh, we've got ourselves a caution. 7th caution of the race. We'll see what happened here. Schamer hitting the wall a couple of times. There, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly happened, folks. Might not have happened with Schamer here. Let's go to crashes. Clarence has already been in the pits. Eric Thaler going wide here. And it's Michael Samia on the front straightaway. As he goes slideways, past the start-finish line, gets the car going again. Well. So he was losing it, goes slideways here. I don't even know if he hit the inside wall from that camera angle, but nobody else involved in the accident. I think race control getting some PTSD. Oh, sorry. He can also tell me to go away. So I best not be too mean to the guy. Well, we'll have a green-white checkered And I believe that we're only getting the one green, white, checkered. So whatever happens this time, if anybody gets into an accident here, that's it, the race is done. So we won't invoke the caution limit here. This is only the 7th one. Couple laps to go. Let's go live. Guys are getting side by side. Top 2 guys did not pit. Trevor McLaughlin now starting right behind these guys. He did pit. Green flag is underway here. Chris Thaler in 4th. Nick Aslin off to the races again. Trevor McLaughlin trying to get around. He got tires on. He's getting by Dustin Ryan-Settle. 2 laps to go. White flag coming this time by Nick Aslin. Caution. Oh, nope, final lap. Sorry, I saw the yellow. Trevor McLaughlin, he is battling. He is trying to make something happen here. 4 cars on the lead lap. Can he go to the outside? Oh, no. Can he get a good run? He's going slideways. Nick Aslin winning it. Then it's Dustin Ryan-Settle and Trevor McLaughlin. Eric Thaler finishes 4th place. Wild finish there. Especially with that late caution right there. It stacked the field back up. Trevor went in, got tires. Oh, sorry, let's go back. Pull up the results here for you. So, Nick Aslin comes away with the win here tonight. Dustin Ryan-Settle finishes 2nd. Trevor McLaughlin 3rd. Eric Thaler 4th. Michael Samia 5th. Ant Castor 6th. Ron Schaumer 7th. Jason Huffman is 8th. 9th will be Norm Snyder. Chris Thaler will finish it out in 10th place. And Clarence Prince will wrap it up in 11th here. Go ahead and bring up the rest of our field. Finishers. And looks like we're going to be waiting for our other driver to pop. Oh, nope, he's in the chatter. Way down the list. See if I can just pop him in here or not. Real quick. All right, there we go. We got everybody here. Now, Trevor McLaughlin, do you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, that was an exciting end to the race there. You started up front, had a fast practice, fast qualifying, got yourself the pole, and had a good start to the race. What happened there? It looked like after the second caution, you just kind of fell off.
Yeah, that lap 50 caution, I somehow unchecked my tires. So I ran the first 110 laps on one set and just kind of got a lap down and fell behind from there. So I did have a fresh set for that last 2 laps, but I think I needed 3 to have a shot beat Nick there.
Yeah, you were given a good run there as you're getting into 3 and 4, just weren't able to capitalize on it. He took that low line, and I think that took the wind out of your sails there.
Yeah, it was pretty smart to block the low line because that's definitely what I wanted, and I probably would have had a better shot. And then on the outside, I'm like, I'm just gonna floor it. It's either gonna it's gonna stick or it's not going to, and unfortunately, it didn't.
Well, it was an exciting end there. I'm just glad to have you back here racing with us, and thank you, Trevor, for coming on up here, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving break.
All right, thanks, Michael.
3rd place finisher there, Trevor McLaughlin. In second place, we have the man who's been dominating most of the season, Dustin Reinso. We got a copy.
What's up?
How's it going, Dustin?
It's going pretty good after not being competitive all night.
It was very weird looking down at the timing there, seeing you fall further and further, be 3 seconds at 1.9 seconds back from the leader there. Not used to having you back there, and was it nice to have some other competition up there challenging you? And
I
you didn't.
definitely learned a lot on the line. I was completely lost for about the first 140 laps on the line. I just couldn't figure out why he was so much faster. I ran a really high steering ratio tonight, which is something I don't usually do. I mean, usually kind of middle on the steering ratio, and I definitely wasn't turning the wheel enough to get to the bottom. So once that last, or I guess second to last restart that we had, I kind of got to follow him a little better. The lap times were just a little bit closer, but he was still. I mean, heck, he could have been saving at that point. He definitely deserved to win that one for sure. I'm not sure why. I'm not trying to say anything, but when you're 2 laps down, we just need to finish the race. Um, it's a little bit too much aggressive racing from guys that were a couple laps down tonight. Should have just finished that one without that last caution, but it happens. It's really easy to spin out here too, so tires get worn and you get pretty loose. But um, no, I'm glad Nick won. He deserved it. Not that Trevor, I wouldn't have pulled for him to win, but I hate 2 laps left kind of caution. So
Well, it's not fun being the driver after you've been leading or being up front most of the race, but definitely brings some excitement here in the booth when we got all that going on. So everyone kept it clean for the most part. You know, the crashes weren't the entire field, which is nice. And fact is that best guys were still right up there in the front, and that's what we like to see.
yes, sir. Appreciate everything you do, and Trevor on Fridays. Can't wait to have James back as always. And congrats to Nick. He definitely definitely ran away with it tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dustin. Dustin Reinsell, your second place finisher here. And now we turn it on over to Nick Aslin, your race winner. Nick Aslin, you just come right back on this league again. This is, I think, the second time you've done this, where you just show up and win your first race. How you doing, man? I think you are muted on your end, sir.
All
There
right,
we
here we go.
go. Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. I I hate that this is the first Xfinity race that I ever ran with y'all. I wish I could have made some more by now, because man, do I love this car. I It is just so much fun racing this car. It's so much fun watching it on TV. This should be the what we race on Sundays. But um, yeah, no, I'm glad to be back. Um, hate that this is the first one I've been able to make, but I truly don't know where all that pace came from. Uh, I bought the track right before joining the session. Never raced this track before on iRacing. Um, I truly didn't even know how to race the track until about like 20 laps in. When I took the lead there from Samia and Dustin battling. It was just so much fun. I mean, I was just so locked in, and um, it's just such a unique track. Um, running the high lane in one and two, or the high lane in one, kind of diamonding it down to the bottom off two, and just wrapping the bottom in three and four. It was, I mean, this is really what I love about iRacing, and this is driving a car like this on a track like this, I should say.
Hmm. So what I'm hearing is the Jason Phillips method of racing might actually pay off for people.
Yeah, it was. I Again, like, I don't know where all this pace came from. I mean, Dustin, he's really fast, and he's such a great driver in this league. And for me to have, you know, had the pace that I did, especially on him tonight, was not what I expected. Hated seeing that caution at the end. I was kind of scared I even had enough fuel there at the end. I ran out of gas just as I had started trying to do my burnout. Odd caution. I don't really know why that was a yellow, but I could see it because Schomer was coming behind him. But either way, I felt confident on that last restart. Although Trevor did scare me there at the end. I knew he had saved the set, and he was hauling. I got through 1 and 2 decent enough on the white, and knew I just had to protect the bottom in 3 and 4, and I thought I'd be okay.
Well, you were able to hold on for the win there with that block, and it was great to have you back here. I know you were telling us that you're disappointed you haven't made that many races, so it sounds like you'll be here for many more to come.
I hope so. I hope my schedules on Sundays can work out to get me some more racing here on these Sundays, because man, this car is so much fun. I love the Xfinity car so much. I mean, the trucks are obviously really fun to drive, and but when I saw that they were bringing the Xfinity car back, I was like, oh, I gotta run these.
All right. Well, that's Nicholas Aslan, your race winner here. We hope to see him for future races to come. And all right. Well, at this point here, we're going to go ahead and close it on out. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. It's been a great time up here in the booth. Keeping an eye on all of this action here for James J., myself, Trevor McLaughlin, and Adam Sondag, and the admin team. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching for this exciting 200-lap race. Tune in on the 5th of December for the Truck Series race with Trevor McLaughlin and James J., and back in on Sunday, December 7th for the Stock Car Series race with me and James. For James J., it's Mike Harris. Just reminding you, stay in your lane.